A twist of the grinder, a scatter of specks across your breakfast. You do it without thought, a gesture so small it disappears between breaths. Yet this humble black dust, the quietest flavor on your table, once altered the fate of kingdoms, sent ships across uncharted seas, and redrew the world's maps. Today, we trace its journey, from a tender green berry clinging to a vine in the tropical mist, to the royal spice that once ruled empires and still reigns unseen. Let's discover, how is black pepper made? From berry to spice. A fruit, not a powder. Black pepper begins not as a grain or seed, but as fruit, born from Piper nigrum, a climbing vine that threads itself through the forests of the tropics. Each peppercorn is a small green globe, a berry that grows in slender clusters, dangling like necklaces of jade. From this single plant come every kind, black, white, and green, their colors shaped not by nature, but by time and touch. A single vine can cradle hundreds of beads, each one a promise, waiting for sun and human hands to transform it. Pepper is not born black, it is born green, and ripens through fire, air, and patience. Inside each hard shell sleeps a world of scent, essential oils so volatile they vanish at the first breath of air. When the grinder's teeth bite down, the shell bursts open, and the soul escapes, a rush of sharpness and warmth. This is piperine, the fire within the fruit, the spark that wakes your tongue. Pre-ground pepper, left to wait in jars, forgets its voice. Its perfume fades, its heat grows dull. That's why freshly ground pepper is far more favorited spice. Freshly ground pepper is a short story, written, read, and gone in a heartbeat. That sting in your nose, that sudden brightness, that's history waking up, one breath at a time. Origin and ecology, where pepper is grown. Pepper thrives where the air is humid and time moves slow, in lands wrapped in heat and rain. From India's Malabar coast to Vietnam's Central Highlands, from the islands of Indonesia to the hills of Sri Lanka, the vine weaves through trees and trellises, feeding on humidity and light. It takes years before a young vine bears fruit, and even then, the harvest demands human rhythm, careful hands, steady ladders, patience measured in dawns. The berries must be picked just before they ripen, green but blushing with readiness. Experienced farmers believe that the ideal harvest time is when 5% of the pepper berries have turned red. From green berry to black pearl, the evolution of a craft. The transformation begins the moment the berries leave the vine. Clusters of green peppercorns, still warm from the sun, are stripped by hand, one bunch at a time, just as farmers have done for centuries. The work is slow, rhythmic, almost meditative. Each cluster snipped, each berry collected in woven baskets. In the old days, these baskets would travel straight to the courtyard. There, pepper farmers, often whole families, would sit together, separating leaves from fruit under the shade of coconut palms. The berries were washed in clay pots with water drawn from the well, then briefly dipped in hot water heated over wood fires. The heat loosened their skins and awakened the enzymes that would, over days, darken the fruit from green to black. Then came the waiting. The pepper was spread out on hand-woven mats or directly on the earth, a shimmering green sea under the tropical sun. For days, they lay still, breathing in light and air. Farmers would rake and turn the berries by hand with bamboo paddles, judging their progress not by instruments, but by sound, the subtle crackle of drying fruit, and by scent, when the sharp aroma of piperine began to bloom. Slowly, moisture faded. Green turned bronze, bronze turned black, The skin wrinkled and hardened until what remained was small, dry, and unyielding. A black pearl, fragrant and fierce. The best peppercorns gleamed like obsidian. The rest were destined for grinding, for oil, for extract, all born of the same patient sun. That was the ancient rhythm: time, air, touch. Today, the rhythm continues, but the tools have changed. In many modern farms, the same process unfolds beneath a layer of precision. Mechanical threshers now separate berries from stems, replacing the hand plucking that once left farmers' fingers stained and rough. Stainless steel vats replace clay pots, bringing exact temperatures and sanitation to the boiling stage. Instead of drying on open ground, many producers now use solar dryers or mechanical dehydrators, controlled environments that preserve flavor while reducing contamination from dust or rain. Moisture meters, once replaced by instinct, now decide when the pepper has reached the perfect 10% dryness. Sorting lines equipped with air jets and optical scanners grade each peppercorn by size and color, ensuring uniform quality that can meet the demands of global trade. Yet, despite these advances, much of the world's pepper is still made the old way. Across rural India, Indonesia, and Vietnam, smallholder farmers still trust the sun more than any machine. They still turn their peppercorns by hand, reading their progress like a language, by weight, by smell, by memory. In this coexistence of hand and machine, ancient and modern, pepper's character endures. The mechanical age may have quickened the work, but the heart of the craft remains the same: fruit, fire, sun, and patience. Under that same sky that feeds rice, fruit, and life itself, peppercorns still wrinkle into their destiny, the tiny black embers we know, and the proof that time itself can be tasted. A global spice network. Once dried, pepper begins another voyage, one of commerce and connection. It is weighed, graded, sealed in burlap, and carried across the sea. Vietnam now leads this global trade, followed by India, Indonesia, and beyond. In 2022, it accounts for over 30 to 35%, by some estimates over 40%, of global finished pepper production and exports. The finest, Telecherry, Malabar, are sold whole, their fragrance intact. The rest are ground, distilled, and blended into countless kitchens, factories, and flavors. But that journey is also a major story of global commerce, shifting volumes and changing patterns. Recently, the global market for black pepper is large and rising. For example, one analysis estimates the market was valued at about $4.5 billion in 2024 and projected to reach around $6.4 billion by 2033. What is driving this rise? A mix of factors. Rising global demand for convenient and processed food, in which pepper appears not only as whole spice, but also in ground, extract, or oleoresin form. Growing interest in exotic and ethnic cuisines, and the push for natural, clean label ingredients. The spice that changed the world. Long before sugar sweetened our tongues or coffee stirred our mornings, pepper ruled. In ancient Rome, it was luxury, sprinkled on every dish, traded like treasure, locked away like gold. In medieval Europe, it was currency, power, and obsession, a reason for merchants to cross deserts and kings to wage wars. When Europe sought a cheaper path to the east, explorers set sail. Columbus went west. Vasco da Gama reached India. And the world, once vast and unmapped, folded in upon itself through the pursuit of spice. Before oil and gold, the world once moved for flavor, and pepper led the way. Myths and truths. Some say pepper is just for heat, but it is more than taste. It preserves food, stirs digestion, soothes pain, and sharpens appetite. Black pepper does far more than season our food. It protects it, heals it, and completes it. For thousands of years, people have trusted these tiny black beads not only to sharpen the appetite, but also to preserve what they loved to eat. Long before refrigeration, merchants packed meat and fish in layers of crushed pepper to ward off decay. The spice's essential oils, rich in piperine, acted as natural antimicrobials, keeping food safe through weeks of travel under tropical heat. But pepper's power lives beyond preservation. In India, where it was first cultivated, pepper has always been more than a spice. It is a medicine. Ayurvedic texts praise it as a deepan, a fire starter of digestion, capable of awakening a sluggish stomach and clearing toxins from the body. Mixed with honey, it soothes coughs and sore throats. Blended with turmeric and ghee, it becomes part of the golden elixirs still served in southern homes today. Across Asia, pepper weaves into soups, broths, and teas, each culture finding its own warmth in its bite. In Vietnam, it perfumes pho and enriches fried rice. In Indonesia, it deepens the heat of rendang and soto. In France, it meets cream and cognac to form the velvet sauce of steak au poivre. In every kitchen, it plays the same ancient role: to balance, to awaken, to make the familiar alive again. Others think black, white, and green come from different plants, yet all are one. Piper nigrum, transformed by time and craft. And though we call pepper common, it was once the price of war, the weight of fortune, the heartbeat of trade. The small thing that connects us. From a single vine in the midst of the tropics to a kitchen thousands of miles away, pepper passes through countless hands: harvesters, dryers, shippers, cooks, and finally, yours. It is the invisible thread that binds us. The farmer in Phu Quoc, the trader in Kochi, the diner in New York, all linked by a gesture so small it barely exists. A single sprinkle joins the tropics to your table, proof that flavor travels faster than borders, and stories last longer than empires. Black pepper, quiet, ancient, eternal. A spice so ordinary that it slips through our days unnoticed, and yet so powerful. Each time when you taste the black, bold tropical spice, let the scent rise into the air, that sharp, earthy breath that feels as old as rain on stone. And within that spice, the warmth of the sun that ripened the vines, the patience of the soil that held their roots, and the quiet devotion of those who tended them through seasons of rain and fire. Every grain you have releases not only its fragrance, but also the story of some unseen worlds. And perhaps that is the greatest magic of all, that the simplest gestures we make in the quiet of our kitchens are echoes of journeys that began long before us and will continue long after we're gone. So if this story has stirred something within you, if it made you look a little closer at the unnoticed, stay with us. Because the world is full of ordinary miracles, hidden in plain sight, waiting to be rediscovered one ground, one flavor at a time. Thank you for watching at this point. If you enjoyed journeys through the hidden world behind simple things, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories from our channel, Secrets of Simple Things. Goodbye and see you later.